Yes, I know this video is long overdue. No, I'm not apologizing for it. I've been gone at college for the past 3 months. I only just got off of break recently. That aside, let me go ahead and continue with this bloody series because I already finished the game.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, only one person seems to fit. I'm not gonna lie when I say this one is a bit more subtle. That being said, I've already had the mystery ruined for me. Point is, Celeste has been denying a few things, or at least she seemed to go against some of the things that we were talking about. I mean, she brought up the body discovery rule. It just seems like she's been like on the opposing side to most of these. That, and she said a few things in the beginning that are kinda sus. I didn't make them obvious, but she's been sus, so...
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Yes.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Yes, because he's a weeb and a simp for you.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot!
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention Celeste has the best breakdown in the frickin' series.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Yeah, and that interesting fact is the suspicious individual.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
The hell? What do you mean? You can't just take over the entire argument. I'm the protagonist. I'm here solving all of this. And you're not an adult either. I am older than you, and all of you guys are the same age. You're all high school students. None of you are adults. Since when do you have the authority to take over this stuff? I don't care that you're the ultimate affluent prodigy, prick. You don't get to deserve or determine all
Everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said? We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
She said she saw the costume guy.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
She was the one that decided to split into two groups. Togami just led the group going after the suspicious individual, and Celeste took the others to the nurse's office.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
It's a pretty stupid yell, by the way.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
Celeste was the first one to say that he was dead.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Nope.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
This was the other thing I didn't mention. She mentioned those guys died. The only issue is that we never told her Taka was dead yet.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You just contradicted yourself, Hagakure.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Yeah, I can handle this. None of these bullets work.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
We are going to die.
You messed up!
No, that's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys die. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
Fabricated.
How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
Simple. It's a fabricated photo.
It has to be some kind of setup, right?
Yes.
So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Nope. We already established that Hiro's the only one that can fit in the suit, and the camera doesn't have a timer.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Are you sure about that?
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away.
Or in this case, Hiro dragging Hifumi away.
I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
AKA Hifumi drags Hiro away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Can we get 5 bullets again? Thank you. You've been making things take way too long to do anything.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they—
This is bullshit!
Wrong!
No, that's wrong. No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
You can't bend at the waist.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Kyoko here again with the 150 IQ play. You are messed up, Celeste, and you have been busted.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
You made too many dumbass mistakes and now you're caught.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Yes.
Checkmate?
Yes.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
What do you mean? What do you mean, checkmate? We've proven that you are the killer.
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
And what might that be?
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
No, and I already talked about this. I know that he said Yasuhiro at the end, but the issue is that he refers to people by their last names. Why would he refer to Hiro with his first name instead of Hagakure, which is his last name? Explain that.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Stop being a dumbass and stop with your dumbass excuses. Also, her facade slipping away is so funny. Her breakdown is so amazing.
Wait! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro!
Yes, it is.
Actually, Taro!
No, it isn't.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
No.
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Last name.
Got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
Yeah, Mr. Naege, Miss Fukawa, Mr. Owada, Mr. Togami, Miss Fujisaki, all of that stuff. Miss Mizono. He refers to everyone by their last names. That's the point. Why would he refer to Hiro with his first name? He should have said Hagakure if he was referring to Hiro.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
This isn't like Mondo's case where Mondo found out that Chihiro was a boy and then referred to him as a boy when everyone assumed that she was a girl. This isn't just incidental. Why would he change how he refers to everyone?
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Moving on.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal, but he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
Yeah, she asked us to refer to her as Celestia Lunenburg, but given that this is set in Japan, and that is a European name, that name doesn't make sense. She is clearly a Japanese student, so why does she have a European name? The answer is because she is not European, and her name is fake.
What did you just say?
We just questioned your identity, woman.
To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit!
And she dropped the accent again.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
This is more than just a little.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine! Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
I don't care how cool your name is, it's not Japanese. And you're in Japan. How can you be Japanese and not have a Japanese name? This is a dumbass excuse and I'm about to expose you. And you're about to be canceled. Are you gonna give us 5 bullets also? Okay, you're not being stupid. Now for the handbook.
My name is Celestia Ludenberg. God damn it!
It's upside down too. Celestia Ludenberg. God damn it!
You have no way to contradict me.
Shut up and die!
No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
That they show your name whenever they turn on.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Well, you can't refuse. This is a courtroom.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because...
What's the point of this?
Until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Stop denying it already. We've proven that you're the killer. Stop denying it.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Looks like I gotta do this all over again. I've gotta solve everything. I think we got it. Yeah, let's do
The
it.
killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was
Yamada.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking it, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene, in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered.
Nope, that's the wrong one. I figured I screwed something up. Okay, that one isn't it. Oh, he left Justice Hammer 3. I'm a moron.
Here's exactly what happened.
Let's proceed.
He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is... Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
The ultimate gambler and queen of liars has played her final bet. Or I guess final gamble, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so that's case 3 done, the climax reasoning done with only one mistake. I've never actually seen the entire climax reasoning section for this case, so yeah. I'm surprised I got through this at the very least. One mistake I expected.
I lost?
Yep, you lost. Deal with it.
I lost?
Yep, you lost. Deal with it.
When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Alright, so Celeste's identity has been revealed. Taiko Yasuhiro. She was the culprit. With that, we have finished this entire chase. Gane! Again! I'm just passing through these cases with flying colors.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Celestia Lundberg, aka Taiko Yasuhiro, has been found guilty. Case closed.
What?
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised this whole stinking scheme was... Celestia Lundberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro!
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Fumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Fumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit the murder. I'm sure she relied on her speciality, lying. My speciality? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, you know? I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. How's Dad?
In other words...
And you're the one who stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
I used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It's about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
are you okay with
It
this?
was Taka. He stole it. What?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
Grr, so it was here! Him. But who... How did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You're correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
What?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime. An absolute crime. I mean, I knew he got a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life.
Completely
I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you'll be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually...
Taka's planning to use her to escape. And he's made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Taka's going to try to kill you.
What?
Indeed.
And also he can keep her to herself. That
This
bastard!
is unforgivable! Completely
Bastard!
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear!
I have to
will
save her!
Actually...
Then would you like to join me? It just so happens I've come up with a plan. Huh? I've devised a way to reclaim what was stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Fumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that I am had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, could still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So why did you decide me to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid.
Huh?
That's it.
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you actually let him live?
Are you okay with
That's
this?
simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, when someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward. Stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end...
So you would plan to kill him all along. But of course, there would have been no point in my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about
No,
that.
he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for the money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life had begun here, my only thought had been escape.
But...
But all along, you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little
Obviously,
bitch.
that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else here.
You little
I wanted to get
bitch.
out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why, huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would create a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That was what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it.
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people, I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious sees the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I'd like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. Can I just point out here, Celeste is an evil character. but she is such a good evil character. Like, I really like her in this freaking game. She is one of my favorites, even though she's absolutely morally disgusting. But she is so awesome. Her breakdown is amazing. And this is by far the best case in the entire game. And that weak fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills,
You all done?
kills.
Okay, then let's get rolling. The black can disturb the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler. He's not even going to say her name because she has two of them.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Celeste has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. We finally get a decent execution. It's not better than Leon's, unfortunately, because it could have been a bit better in my opinion. But aesthetic-wise, this is a cool execution. At the very least, it's the last good one, and the last real execution. Because nobody really gets executed after this. The burning of the Versailles Witch. The gothic Lolia girl shall die by being burned alive. Burned at the stake. This is what she wants. Oh, this must be painful. That has to be painful. Oh, what? Surprise. I guess we got a fire truck now. Oh, never mind. They're gonna run her over. Ow. Would've been cool if there was a blood splatter, but there wasn't, which takes away from the impact here, I feel. That I'm desensitized to death, so... Little Bear did nothing helpful, but Celeste is dead. We thought she would be burned alive, but no, she just died in a really casual way. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of
What
here!
do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste?
Hey! Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
Wah?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh. How exciting.
Oh man, oh geez, oh man, oh geez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
Stupid bear prick is gone. Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Malcolm already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
So...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What? Then that means... Celeste's probably hidden in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea.
Hey.
I'm gonna go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
So...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still a risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
It's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Bako and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Bako. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hio said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then...
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste gave her and unlocked the locker. As it swung open, we saw...
You really came.
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time.
So,
Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait just a little while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but... Can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me. Why are you trying to do it all on your own here at the school?
You...
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like, what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared, and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they'll think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too? No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we are friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I believe in you. Or I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... What I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera monitor on it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back... She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? This is a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. Secret Kyoko told me about. Could it be hidden here? It was way in the back. Seriously? As if being yanked in. At the same time as I heard the sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. I'd fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out, the back wall was like a revolving door, and I made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom, there's a storage closet. Way in the back, there's a secret room. So this is the secret room, but what's in here? What's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I could understand if it said, like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. This strange situation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before. But I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? A strange sound rang out through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth, and then darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I don't know how long it'd been. Gah. Ow! Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. Oh, what? Empty bookshelf. Empty? Gone. It's all gone. Yearbooks, student registry, and even the note that fell on the floor. It's all gone. What does that mean? My brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room. Get some rest. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back toward my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. Ugh. The farther I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry. Can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that, as if for the vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint but undeniable. That sound. It's coming from the gym. As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? There's something going on in the gym. I didn't make a sound as I opened the door of the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Before me, there raged about beyond anything humanly possible. One side's not human, that's for sure. But regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat. No longer compromise. No longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be the mastermind spy is... Chapter 3, Next Generation Legend, Stand Tall Galactic Hero. End. Another 3 down, and we are down to 7.